had one of my followers WhatsApp me and find my number online because the story which I told was so impelling and he wanted to give his reply, which I'm very thankful for, but it made even more content and it made it even better.
It's college work. My answer was no. Simple and plain, because you was rude when I was your lecturer. So why would I do you a favour? And I realised to myself, am I being a selfish, bitter adult?
Let's talk about it. So the subject is, I had a conversation with someone of African descent and they told me in Africa, plumbers and skilled trade jobs are looked down upon, and that's not the truth. I know that's not the truth because I'm not from Africa, obviously, but I have got a smartphone, right? And the smartphone allows me to be able to go online and do my own research and not believe what other people say, because when I'm having conversations with people about Africa, and it's especially younger generation men, they would feel, because I'm from the Caribbean, I don't know. And this is a chance for you to enlighten me. But I will gladly take that lesson if it was from a place of, I'm gonna teach you something, yeah? But normally it's from a place of, I'm gonna tell you something what I know you don't know. Why would you assume that me being older than you by age, I would know less than you? It is an assumption, right? But when we look at, which you don't know, is where I'm from, the areas which I've grown up in. I've grown up in North London, I've worked in South East London a lot, and I've been around in East London, and I'm in West London. So let's say London in general. So we got to look at the areas which have a high population of African people and Caribbean people. Let's say Tottenham, for example. I've always told people that I grew up in Tottenham. I went to primary school in Tottenham. I went to secondary school in Tottenham, and I actually taught a couple lessons in North London. I used to work for that college group. So of course I've come across Congolese, people from Lagos, people from Nigeria, people from Sierra Leone. Do you want me to keep going? Sounds like a rap now. But what I'm saying to people is that most of the people who I come across, whether you're first or second generation, you're not talking from the point of people who actually live there, because you don't live there, you live here. And yes, it is interesting for us to have an understanding how society in your own area views us as men or women or people of colour. To say that Africa doesn't respect people of colour in a tradespeople, I mean, it's silly, because you can look at, and what I will do at halfway in the video, we'll start looking at the money which people get, yeah? But this video is not about money purposes, but we're gonna bring that up because that is a solid point, right? The solid point is gonna be that the average wage, and we're gonna take four fast-growing continents in Africa, nearly said city there, fast-growing continents in Africa, and we're gonna look for the average wage, and we're gonna look for a medium to high wage group which tradespeople are earning in those continents, and we're going to talk about them. Again, I haven't been to anywhere in Africa, which I need to make a trip to Africa. I don't have a problem with going to Africa. I love African people, but I just love people who are open. In my years of being alive, yeah, I've realised that that's the biggest thing what holds us back as people, especially as black people, not being open with each other, thinking that one of us is better than the other. We're all going to the same place at the end of the day. That's your bed. And we're generally praying to the same person. Do you get what I mean? So what is the competition? The competition is someone understanding your culture, yeah, and your identity. Your identity can't be to praise only doctors and accountants, because they don't make the country. They don't make a village. A village doesn't need, in Africa, it needs doctors. Does it need accountants? To some part, but they're not a vital source which helps out the community. Yes, people need to bank their money. They need to reinvest. They need to look at stuff like that. But first of all, they need money to be made. So if you're not making any money, you're not going to do that. Again, this video wasn't never about I told you, because my thing isn't about making people feel like, I've told you something what you didn't know. I know there are a large majority of people who are very ignorant, and your ignorance divides us. It conquers us. It stops me and you getting on. It stops you saying hi to me, because you know that if I say something to you, all you want to do is tell me about something what you feel I don't know. This isn't a conversation about what I don't know. This is a conversation about things which happen. And the things which happen, which led on to this video making, is me talking about how sometimes the younger generation, and this was especially this African young man, was disrespectful towards a Caribbean older man, when in your culture you're taught to respect your elders. So if I'm not your elder, then me and you must be the same age. We're not. And you know we're not the same age. The point was that if that is a thing which you do in your community, why do you not do it when you're around Caribbean people? That was my whole point. And I think this young gentleman, he took it a bit too far with the messaging me, because I think he sent me like, it's about 15 voice notes, one after the other. Bow, 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 bow. He was moving like Sexy Red. He done that because he felt that I was attacking African people probably, and I didn't know a lot about them, but I'm born in the 80s, yeah? 80s baby. I went to school with a lot of African people, Caribbean, Jamaican. We all had to learn how to get on with each other, and it wasn't about, I can't pronounce your last name. I had friends from Ivory Coast, deep in Africa, yeah? Chiseled face. These men is built like Spartans. I could always respect where they're coming from, yeah? And I didn't treat people any differently, favoritism or thing. If I don't like you, I don't like you, period. I'm not gonna start doing it now just because it makes sense to be cordial. I have enough friends. I have 1,000 contacts in my phone. Don't need any more. But one thing I do need is I need people to come together and realize that some of the problems which we have in our own community, we will only fix them when we accept them. When people accept, yeah, that the younger generation of some African people, just like I've spoke about other generations of people, I've spoke about Uncle Toms who are black men who look down on other black men, but there was not loads of black men jumping in saying, oh yeah, you shouldn't say that. No, because they know. I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking from a place of disrespect. I'm talking from a place of what my eyes see, yeah? Your eyes can't fool you from what you see, in a sense of, yes, you do get young African men that feel that Caribbean men don't know about our culture. We could not know. Why is it we could not know? Could we not watch documentaries, what you make yourself? Why? Do you get it? And there is an underlying rivalry, but rivalries are only for fools in this society now. Because at the time of like, I don't like to talk about this, but at the time of like the lockdown, George Floyd type of situation, yeah, you realise unity was a massive thing. And if you let that go over your little ball head or your little lace front, as they call it, this isn't the channel for you. You shouldn't subscribe to my thing, because this is all about self-learning, about how far we've come, about how far we can get to, about how we can overcome hurdles and stop letting other people spin narratives between us as people. Nobody can't spin the block on me. Spin the block on my understanding of others, yeah? I've always said to people, I have ultimate respect for African people and black people. We go through a lot. That doesn't mean that I need to be going at you as a person. No, it's not my MO. That's not gonna help us, and that's not gonna save anything. So let's address, yeah, the reality of the truth, which is African continents need skilled tradespeople, yeah, like plumbers, electricians, mechanical engineers, yeah, and other stuff like that. It definitely does pay well on a level of projects in commercial and luxury properties. There are loads of luxury properties in Africa. There are more than there is probably in the UK. Africa's huge. So why would you think that they're not getting paid good money? Of course they're getting paid good bank. But let's talk about this negative put down and why people feel like that. Right, you working with your hands, yeah? A lot of people think that maybe you wasn't smart, that's why you work with your, but you're probably smarter than most. Because coordination, yeah, what your hands do, your brain's telling you what to do. Do you need me to tell you anymore? Don't you get that? And that's the amazing thing about life, yeah, is that we can all learn something off each other. I've learned loads of times when people have said to me, oh, I didn't do well in college and stuff like that. So, you know, I thought I'd do a trade. Or I didn't do well in school. I wasn't really that good at maths and English. Well, you're going to be fucked here, my friend. Because you're going to have to add up. You're going to have to divide. You're going to have to also manage yourself, manage other people. And your job is actually worked on. Your job is actually summed up by how much work you do sometimes, right? So let's take me, for example, today. I've visited 2 leaks, fixed 1 leak, going back to fix another one, and it's not even 12 o'clock yet. I started at 8. And I've done a plant room walk around. But while doing that, this video was just hitting me, and I was saying, nah man, why do people do that? Why do people take the meat and the bones out of the video and move off of a narrative which isn't there? There isn't friction between me and African people. I've had Sierra Leone students, I've had Congolese students, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Somalian. I respect all the young boys as young black men, but I understand that we all need a level of mentorship at some point. We all need someone to be able to tell us the way, because we don't know. Most men are winging it. No matter what field they're in, they're winging it. They're telling people, I know. You fucking don't know. And when someone does come along and tells you, just be thankful, man, because information's free. And that's all I try to get across to people, is this information and conversations are free. But sometimes with your attitude, this is the reason why people don't want to fucking talk to you, because you feel like you know it all. You can't know it all when you're young, dumb and full of cum. Yeah, because you're not even interested in research, reading books and finding the fuck out. You know, they said fuck about and you will find out. You need to go to the library and go and find out and look at your economy. Yeah, which I'm going to look at the economy at the end of this video, and we're just going to break down 4 fast growing continents in Africa which are making money, and plumbers are actually making more money than the average person or a general doctor or an accountant or someone like that. And I guarantee you, this will not take me long to find this information. And then we have taken apart this narrative of that's why they don't respect them, because I feel that that's a stupid reason to say. Stupid. I told you I was going to find 4 continents in Africa. Uganda in East Africa is driven by oil and upgrades of the roads, right? And a lot of pipelines being built. So this is information that I'm able to give you, which anyone can give you. This is why I mean, like, having these devices where you're able to research and find out answers and not rely on people telling you shit which just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to listen to your uncle who tells you things are not going on. How do you know that he's telling the truth? He could just be chatting shit. You know, and I haven't got time to check to make sure everybody's not chatting shit, but I have got time to check when people got time to send me 15 messages. Again, I appreciate it, because I wouldn't have been able to make this great video without you being able to back those points up or think that you could start the conversation on points like that. It just doesn't make sense. Remember, some of us see things through eyes which make sense. I don't look through the blurred eyes. I look through the eyes which I see on my face, and I do my research so I can be correct, because I know that me being on social media, yeah, people want to bash you or put you down or get onto you with something what you say because they believe it not to be the truth. But the truth is that the GDPs show that places are growing. The GDPs show that there are jobs, and these jobs are being paid higher than doctors. What was the other people that I had on there? Doctors, accountants, and people who are in like professional jobs, as what people would look at in Africa as high paid jobs. These are high skilled paid jobs. I don't know what else people want you to say. It's the not knowing that these things are going on, and you being the last person in the loop is what really is the kicker for some people. But the internet, and just like my YouTube channel, it's there to educate people. It's never there to put people down, as in like, oh, you didn't know this, you should watch my video every single time. No, but you should definitely subscribe, because you've learnt something. And even I've learnt something. That if I was looking for a job, I'd go to Ethiopia. If I was looking for a job, I'd go to these certain places which are growing. Because a growing industry is an industry with some longevity in it. It's an industry which can raise a family. Simple. We're not here for nothing else. We're not here for a debate on who's doing better in life. We're here for a debate and a conversation to help people in life. And my channel is about helping people. Helping people realize that you don't know always best, that we should listen to others, do our research, find out the crucial parts, which are the moving parts to the cogs of life, which we want to find out, and put them together, connect with people who can help that be done. That is not an easy task. And when I make these videos, I make them because I want someone else to come across it and make sense of what I'm saying, but also look into it as well. Look into those countries, what I mentioned, who are growing with the GDP. Ask yourself, is there projects and things which you might want to be on, or what you can contribute to? I would love to contribute to a project in Africa, solidify my name, have myself up there. You understand? I would love it. I would never say no. Jump at the opportunity. But sometimes to get the opportunity, I've got to show my interest, and my interest might start with me making these videos and talking to this younger generation and letting them realize that, you know what, when I tell you that your attitude is a bad attitude, it's not to try to justify it with your culture, because that is never going to take place, and it just sounds dumb. You know, oh, we don't respect them because we're supposed to respect doctors and nurses and people that are like that. Really? What happened to respecting all? Most of you that are Christians and stuff and go to church, so respecting thy neighbour and all that. What happened to all that shit? But hey, my thing is never to get personal with people. It's always to get personal with facts, yeah? I like to try and make these videos with facts based around it. So therefore, we're not arguing about stupid things. There's nothing to argue when it comes to myself, which I'm just trying to show people that, you know, look at the other side, is that we have a better understanding about what GDPs and what countries are winning right now, and where we could focus our energy on, which is helping our next African or Caribbean young black man who wants to travel, live life, look at places which are going to give him a fruitful future. And that's what it's about, a fruitful future, yeah? A place which allows us opportunities. And it's the land of the opportunities. But the person who puts a downer on everything won't allow things to be seen as an opportunity. So that's why we need to educate ourselves, move in the right direction, carry the right type of energy, and not have so much energy towards each other when it comes to enlightening each other about things, and take things with a pinch of salt, but also do your own due diligent research about things which you feel so passionate about. I feel passionate about speaking to my African people because I know that we're the same. It's some of you lot, just like some Caribbeans, feel like we're not, but we are. We've got too many similarities in life to not be the same. We come from the same place. The one motherland, you understand? It's just about putting your ego aside and stopping all of this like, I know best business. You don't. You're young, you're dumb, full of cum. Again, you heard me say that again, but that's the facts, period. Learn something about the continent which you're trying to represent and trying to speak highly about before you start talking, because even sometimes when we talk, we sound stupid because you don't know what you're talking about. Again, I would never call that young man stupid because he's talking from his life experiences, but your life experiences have to have some substance. And they also have to come with some facts as well. No facts, no entries. Let's talk from an educated place, not from a place of despising someone else because they've told you information which you didn't know about your own country or your own people then. It is what it is. This is the world we live in nowadays, people. Let's each one teach one so we can live better amongst each other and grow and grow some generational wealth. If you like this video, I'd appreciate you to subscribe to my channel, because I'm trying to give my honest opinions. I'm trying to make my videos better. My videos are not just for black and African people. They're for everyone who wants to learn and have these difficult conversations which we do need to have about stigmas, in life, which there are so many stigmas which follow us. And this is one of those stigmas, which is people always feeling that they know better. You don't know better because you've not even decided to research, find out. You know, I give a damn every time I make these videos. So I'd appreciate it if you just subscribe to the channel, drop a little comment on what you feel underneath, because everyone feels different. I've got a big community of Black and Caribbean people on there. So I'd appreciate it if you turned up on this post and told me what you feel about this and about what I've said. And subscribe as well, put that notification bell on, because I'll be dropping new videos soon. And I don't care where I'm doing it. I'm even doing it when I'm at work, because that's how much passion I feel towards my own channel, which I'm gonna grow every single week. Look out for the drops, put your notifications on, press subscribe, and I'll see you on the next upload. Let's get it.